Hi Karen, I just sort of realized something, or what part of the problem is now here's the about page, right? Here's our home page. This is what I modified. I've actually removed, excuse me, from the home page, or what I've done is I've actually gone to the site, I've gone to the styles, and I've gone to the header one, which is only used on the index page, and I've just cleaned it out. The reason for that right now is because it was designed to be sort of animated. But go along with the image slider and whatnot, and the rest of the pages sort of being the same. I thought, well, it's going to make a lot more sense to have them look the same if you're not going to use a slider on the main page. So here's one of the other tweaks I'm going to make. I'm just going to get rid of this extra space here. And there's something a little bit more like this. We'll put the home page, and then you have the, boom, like that. Excuse me. So now when the site resizes, right, there we go, like that. You see that? It doesn't have that extra bar, which is going to be in the way. Okay, but if we get rid of the contact, that's going to save us a little bit more as well, so I'll just do that right now. There, so on page load, we still get the initial animation with the logo coming in, which is good. On scroll, it doesn't get all messed up. It's going to be the proper size, right? And part of the problem was this logo was it was really big. It was like 400 pixels, and just with the headers.css, the way it worked and whatnot, it was shrinking it down too much on scroll. So getting rid of that header.css, I think, is going to save a lot of the issues you've been having, because that was more an animated thing, right? Anyways, long story short, now when we scooch on down, boom, that switches into the main menu tool, like so, and then everything else sort of starts to size down as we go here. Okay, and what I'm going to do then is, where we get in trouble is this text here. This needs to stack one on top of the other. So that's what I'm going to make my next change here. So when we get to, say, about here, everything's going to stack one on top here. Okay, so now we end up with something more along this line here, where everything's sort of centered in the page, logo on top of the text so it's not squishing, and then the menu button takes up a much wider area instead of being stuck off to the right. Okay, then we pop back into the normal view, and then boom, we go right into like sort of a, this is going to be this right here is going to be your tablet in portrait view, and this will be a tablet in landscape about there, and then of course this is going to be the mobile phone, right? So this way, with just a couple of tweaks and getting rid of that header.1.css, now the logo is going to be consistent from device to device as opposed to the animation. And then we have a much more consistent look here, and the site breaks down just at the right moment so that things will flow here. There, and I'll make one final tweak, is I'll just center align the phone up top here so that it's all stacked one on top of the other here. And I think I might just change the width of the menu so it just comes out to equal the logo here. And there you go. Now we have the text, and basically the menu button underlines the logo, making it really stand out a lot sharper, right? And we'll leave this up here where it is, simply because trying to get this and the logo graphic on the same line for a mobile phone, there's just too many letters in here to make it look good, because we only have about minimally 320 pixels to work with, right? So as soon as we scooch this down, at least it's in its own line, so it's not going to bump into anything, and anything less than that, it's not going to look good. This is pretty much what the phone's going to be like right here. There we go. I'm not going to bother trying to get the logo centered. The reason being is because it's responsive now, so it'll display in different devices. But one of the downsides of being responsive is you cannot add a width to it, and if you can't add a width to the logo, then it's going to be very difficult to have it float the way we want it to. Well, hang on a sec here. I had to change of thought, because if the logo is on its own line and it does not exceed 320 pixels, which it doesn't, then technically we can assign a width to it, which I did through the graphic right here, the actual graphic logo. And then I basically said in the mobile CSS is margin auto left, margin auto right, because we are now allowed and we can assign a width. So long story short, we can now do this, stack everything neatly for your phone, and that mobile view is going to be awesome. And then when we fly out to the full screen, it's still going to look awesome and not have any weird things going on with the stuff up top. Okay, so there we go. Scooch it in, bang, all the way down. Now it's going to be really sharp for the whole thing there.